HOD creatives, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be recreating this beautiful and gorgeous ruffle wrap you're seeing right here on your screen. It's a very beautiful tutorial, very beautiful head wrap, and it's so easy to make. So if this is something you are interested in, you have to watch this video to the end. And if you have not subscribed to this channel, please do well to hit the subscribe button, turn on your notification bell, and let's get right into the class. All right, welcome back. So we are going to be recreating that beautiful ruffle wrap you just saw on your screen, and we are going to be using this taffeta fabric and an elastic, and it's just a 1 yard of taffeta fabric, right? And this is a 1 inches elastic we're seeing on the screen, and you're just going to go ahead and cut a 30 inches elastic, 30 inches elastic. And your fabric also, the 1 yard, you just go ahead and slit it into two, and you have it in two places. Just split it into two, you have it in two places. 1 yard of fabric is 36 inches, so you just that 36 inches divided by 2, and you go ahead and slit it, cut it into two. Then you join one end together, and you go ahead and stitch it just the way you're seeing on the screen. You just go ahead and stitch it all the way down. That is the shorter part, not the lengthening part. The shorter part, that's where we are joining. So you just go ahead and join it. When you're done joining, you have a long length now. So you are going to fold it into, you're going to trim out the excess. Any excess you have inside, you have to trim it out to quarter inches. Yes, trim it down to quarter inches, because if you stitch it like this, if you are passing your elastic later, it's going to give you problem. So that is why you have to trim out any excess you have close to your stitch. Then when you're done with that, you fold it into two. That you're folding the wrong side into two, and you go ahead and stitch it all the way down, just the way you're seeing on the screen. You go ahead and stitch it all the way down. So when you're done with your stitches, you will go ahead and bring it out to the right side. You bring it out to the right side when you are done stitching it. You are stitching on an 1/2 inches sewing allowance, just 1/2 inches, right? Yeah. So when you're done with your stitches, like I said earlier, you go ahead and turn your fabric into the right side, and make sure from the beginning you leave 1 inches, and from the ending you leave 1 inches. You will not stitch it to the end, just the way you are seeing on the screen. You will not stitch it to the end. You will leave 1 inches in the beginning and 1 inch in the other beginning. Then you go ahead and iron your fabric out. Iron your seam to the middle. When you are done turning it, you iron your seam to the middle. As you can see, that's my 1 inches there. I did not sew to the end. I sew and I stop before 1 inches to the end, both sides, right? So when you're done, you go ahead and iron your fabric out very well. And if you don't have iron, please go ahead and pin it down, pin it all the way down so that it can stay in place, and your middle stitch can be at the middle. The stitch you iron, the stitch you stitch will have to be at the middle, just the way you are seeing on the screen. So when you're done, those 1 inches that we left at the end, you go ahead and pick one side of it and you pin it down. Just watch closely what is going on in the video. Watch closely. Then you go ahead and pin down. When you're done pinning, you might not be able to pin everything around, so just pin where you can pin. Then you go ahead and stitch it just the way you're seeing on the screen. Go ahead and stitch it all the way round, right? All the way round. If you have watched this video to this point and you are still not subscribed to this channel, please do well to hit the subscribe button. It is free. And turn on your notification bell. The notification bell is for you, so that when we post videos every week, you will be the first to be notified that a new tutorial is up, right? So let's continue. So you go ahead and stitch it all the way down to the other end of the opening. Okay, so when you're done, you just go ahead and remove your pin and you trim out any excess. It's important for you to trim out any excess inside so that when you're passing your elastic inside the hole you created, you will not have any obstruction. Okay, so you go ahead and trim out all your excess, then you push the fabric in and you have something like this. So that is where you are going to be passing your elastic through, right? Good. So the next thing we are going to do now is to, now you have a full circle, round circle. Now there's no opening anywhere except this place that you are seeing. So the next thing you are going to do now is to take your measuring tape and you go ahead and measure 1/2 inches to the right, 1/2 inches to the left, 1/2 inches to the right, 1/2 inches to the left, just the way you are seeing on the screen. Then you go ahead and stitch it all the way around. You stitch this other side, 1/2 inches on this other side. That's the other side of the seam that is at the middle. I don't know if I'm making sense. The other side of the seam that is at the seam, this stitch that is at the middle, you sew one side, 1/2 inches to the right, 1/2 inches to the left. You go ahead and stitch it all the way round. You stitch it all the way round. So that is what we are doing now. To all my old subscribers, thanks so much for always coming back here to watch my video. I really appreciate you. I see all the comment, I see all the like. May God bless you. Thanks so much. So as you can see, I've gone ahead to stitch down and this is what we have. So you're going to go ahead and take your safety pin and you will pin your elastic. Then you're going to go ahead and pass it through that opening, that we left earlier. You're going to go ahead and pass it through it. And if you don't understand what is happening here, please play it back and replay again. I'm sure you're going to understand it. So you start passing in your elastic, you go ahead and fix your elastic inside. Remember that we stitch 1.5 inches to the right, 1/2 inches to the left. So we are going to be having 1 inches space at the middle. So is that 1 inch space you are going to fix your 1 inches elastic into, just the way you're seeing on the screen. So you go ahead and pass your elastic all through till you come out from the other side of the opening. I hope you understand. It's a very simple tutorial, very simple. So make sure you pin down your elastic so that it will not escape inside the hole you created. So you have to pin it down, pin that edge down. Is very important. So when you're done pinning, you continue passing your elastic. So you pass it till you come out from the other side. It's a very simple. It's something you can make within 10 minutes, not even up to 10 minutes. You are done with it. So as you can see, I'm out from the other side. So when you're out from the other side, you go ahead and pick the two mouths of the elastic. You pick it, you pin it down, then you go ahead and stitch on it. So you first stitch it from the front. When you are done stitching from the front, you bring it out. If you have any excess, you go ahead and cut it out. Then you flip it to the back and then you stitch again to have a secure stitch. Do it this way so that your stitch will be secured properly and very well. So when you are pulling the elastic, your elastic will not break at any point in time. So you go ahead, when you're done, push the elastic in. As you can see, you push it in. When you're done pushing, then you go ahead and use either your machine to close that opening, or you use your needle and thread to close it. You have two options. You can use your machine to close it, or you go ahead and take your needle and thread and you stitch it and close it up properly. So can you see, it's very beautiful, very easy to make, and you can wrap it in so many ways. You can wrap this in so many ways. So as you can see now, I'm using my needle and thread to secure it. I prefer to use needle and thread to secure it, because if you use your sewing machine, there's a probability that you're going to hold your elastic. So it's better to use your needle and thread and secure it neatly and tightly. So you go ahead and secure. So when you're done, you secure your thread properly and tuck your thread in to hide the tip of the thread. Then cut your excess thread, and voila, we are done. It's very beautiful. So, and this is how you can wrap it. This is one way you can wrap it. We have several ways you can wrap it, different ways you can wrap it. Just be creative about it and you will love this. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.